What happened in my world of real estate this week? Well, we started off the week right away with a sold listing here in Welland. It firmed up, it's done. Now it's just a matter of keeping my seller and the lawyers and everybody on the same page throughout the closing process. But that's always a good way to start the week, probably one of the best ways to start the week. We had our meeting on Monday, and this week's meeting was actually very different from a regular meeting. Brian was not present, and it ended up being just Joe, myself, Casey, and then obviously we have Matthew there doing some filming. But we really dug into some systems and organizing a couple things, using some programs, and just basically catching up on some things that might have been missed. So it was a really good, probably a little bit longer than average meeting. I think it was about 2 hours of meeting together, working on our computers, collaborating on some really important things, and we ended up getting them done, which is a good start to the Monday. After that, we went back to the tenanted property with the tenant who is not paying. We brought a contractor in to measure a couple things. The tenant was not home, so it was peaceful this time, which is good. There's no confrontation, nothing wild going on. Just a couple measurements. We were in and out pretty quickly. So that's always interesting. I was thinking it was going to be a little bit crazier than that, but then again, wasn't there. So that's good. Got that out of the way. After that, as far as homes that I've previewed this week, needed to get the comparative market analysis ready for. We had one in Welland. We had one in Port Colborne, and I had a really unique one out, well, not quite out of Niagara, but close to another board, and it was really unique. It's actually a gun club. I've never had to try and price out a gun club before, so that was interesting. And then throughout the week, I worked on those comparative market analysis, as well as I finished and presented a couple others. One of them on a big property out in the country. It's a few acres and a big home and shop. We got that one done, presented it to the sellers. So that's one off the list there. But working on this gun club one, it was so much different than your average comparative market analysis. I was trying to get on the phone with the planning division for the township that this house or this gun club is in, and I don't know how many phone calls I tried to make to get through, and I got, I think, 2 emails back total and not one phone call from dealing with them. I think it was half the week. Maybe 2 emails, not one phone call. Makes it a lot more difficult when I'm trying to get some information on the property to see what I can do as far as price when I can't get any return calls from the people working at the city. One of the reasons I love Welland so much is Welland's city hall, their planning department especially, they're so progressive, and they almost seem so much more advanced than other places in Niagara. So Welland is my favorite for that. Where I'm working on this one right now has not been easy. The other one, trying to get a hold of the CFO, this Chief Firearms Office for Ontario. Just, again, get some information on gun club registry application, see what kind of process this takes so I can use this information when pricing it out. I think I called them 15 times and not one call. I got 1 email later on Friday, and that's it. That was all I got from all that. So it was a lot of digging with nothing back from either of these people. So it was frustrating that way. While I had a little bit of downtime, I looked up land prices around there. I looked up some other data that I can use for the research, and I also started working on a couple of the other comparative market analysis while I'm waiting for some of these people to give me a call back. So it is not all sunshine and rainbows. It is not always just, let's go look at this house, okay, let's buy it, or let me put this sign on your lawn and see if somebody wants to buy the house that I'm listing. There's a lot of trench work that has to be done. This is some of it, and it gets frustrating. After that, we met up with another person that had the tenant in that property, that we tried to help her get this tenant out because she wants to list the property and make some money off of it. And the tenant actually is already out. Went back with her. The tenant was gone. The tenant has a new place that's staying. So now I'm helping my seller work with someone she had a contract for property management, and we're working on that, trying to get this house ready, and that could be on the market fairly soon. So that was a really good thing. That was towards the end of the week. It was a really nice feeling to have the lawyer that we recommended to her, that she called, help out, and then us putting the content out really helped this lady solve a situation that she was having trouble with. So we're really happy that we could finish that, get that tenant out and on to their next place, wherever they're staying. This tenant was paying, just a little bit destructive to the house, but the tenant was very nice. I did meet them, but that is done, and now we're trying to help her get the most money. So we're going through some renovation ideas, going through some updates, some changes, cleaning it up, getting a house ready, and helping her decide where to put the money she wants to put in to get the best bang for her buck and make the most money off of it. So we're in that process now. Again, when you're gonna list a house, it's not always, oh, you're gonna list, okay, sign and lawn, let's see if it sells. There's a lot more to it, and this is one case that shows that. So it's been very busy, and then one of my days was almost the whole day. I didn't have any appointments at all. Almost the whole day was spent in the office. Joe was not here, he was gone, Blue Mountain. It was just myself and Matthew. I think Casey had a handful of appointments and showings. She also had some videos she was shooting. So she was out of the office doing a bunch of that. Matthew was shooting some things with Casey. He did come in the office a couple times, and it was me in the office just grinding all day. It was a good day that a lot of things got done that needed to get done, so I really appreciate it, and the quiet time at the office definitely helped. We have a great office and an open bullpen, and we have a lot of fun in there, but this was a good day for me just to sit down by myself and grind out everything that had to be done, just to get it as far processed as I could so we can get through some of these. We've got a lot of comparative market analysis we're working on all at the same time, trying to get these ready for people who want to list their house, or at least see what the value is. And then finishing off the week, I also had some showings with 2 different sets of buyers, which is exciting. First time buyers looking for their first property. So it's a bit of a process. We want to make sure that they understand the whole process. We want to make sure that they understand everything about when we're going through a house, what we're looking for, and the investment side of the property, making sure whatever they are picking up is going to be good for them, however they plan. If they want to be there for 10 years, okay, let's work with that. If this is only going to be a 2-3 year property, they want to make some money, well, that becomes an investment at that point, and that's where we want to look at everything that might affect resale. So it was a week that was all over the place, but it was a really good week. Next week's going to start pretty similar. I think we've got another notice of delivery that's gone out, bringing a contractor in, some renovations on that tenanted property. So I'm really looking forward to this week, as well as some comparative market analysis presentations, and possibly some sellers interested in listing their house and putting it up on the market in the near future. So that was this week in real estate. A little bit different than normal, but it was a good, busy week, a lot to do, and it was a lot of in the trenches, grinding, behind the scenes stuff that not everybody can see. But that was my week, and I'm really looking forward to the next one. I think next week is going to be a really good week for me in real estate.